You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the August 6th meeting for the Michigan City Tree Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Started. Let's convene the regular meeting of the Michigan City Tree Board on Wednesday, August 5th, 2025 at 5:30. 6th, I'm sorry. Yes, go ahead and do call to order.
Okay, and then I'll do the roll call.
Yes.
Okay, Jen Birchfield.
Yes, present.
Okay, Denise Blau is not here. Dennis Britton.
Here.
Betsy L. Sesser.
Here.
I say it right?
Close enough.
Okay, Laura Henderson. Here. Mary Nell Murphy, that's me here. And Harshini Ratnayaka.
Hi.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and I will also recognize that we have Council Liaison Nancy Moldenhauer is here, and City Forester Phil Graff is here. And we have a visitor we'll address later.
Yes.
Okay, roll call complete.
Okay. Approval of agenda. Has everyone received and reviewed the agenda?
Yes.
Yes. Everyone comfortable with the agenda? Any discussion?
I move we approve the agenda.
Oh, I have to write that down.
But we want to move public comment forward, so.
Oh, that's it.
It already
It's
is.
on that.
It is.
Oh, it
is?
Yep.
Oh, it's just after approval of the minutes. Oh, excellent, okay. I second the move to approve.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, agenda approved. And approval of the minutes for the July 2nd, 2025 meeting.
I move to approve.
There were a few comments.
Yes.
Did you see?
Yeah, I had asked to please be listed as excused since I had,
And I did update that, but I'm not on the one that was sent. I couldn't do it in the past.
gotcha.
So I have updated that on the minutes to list members excused if prior notice is given to the president before the meeting.
Thank you.
We will note that Denise is here.
Hi.
Hi.
When do you start? 5:30?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
On the dot.
You're good. You're all good.
Thank you.
I do want to address who is a voting member because we've had some changes with who is our city council liaison. And I believe there was a vote last time or a motion made by a city council liaison. My understanding is that Dr. Cora is a city council liaison and not a voting member. So I just want to note that. I don't know if we need to, it was just the approval of the agenda. I don't know that we need to do anything on it, but I just want to note that we need to make sure that we have some clarity on who is a voting member and who is not. To my understanding, Dr. Cora is a city council liaison and is not a voting member. There was some discussion though, Nancy, when you were brought on board, that you would be brought on as a voting member. No? Okay, so the city council
There
liaison.
actually was confusion by our new president, Tracy Tillman.
Okay.
She was not familiar with this particular board, and if the person come from the city was actually a liaison, or if they were a member.
Okay.
Okay, if the city council is a member of a board or a commission or a committee, then they would vote.
I see.
But if they're a liaison, then we're here as a support,
Communication support.
communication, whatever person.
Okay. Well, we're very happy to have you here,
Well,
and
thank you
Dr. Cora as well. But we just want to note that the city council liaisons are not, in fact, voting members.
And I will note that motion that Dr. Cora had made was on the agenda and then it was passed unanimously, so
Okay.
it wasn't like
So,
a
not an
split
issue.
vote. Okay.
And I would say, check with Robert's Rules of Order, but
Yes, but I think we're on the right track. I'll check though.
it's a minor thing.
Yes. We have moved up public comments to accommodate our guests.
Thank you. So, just quickly, public comment, I'm still,
If
Leslie
you would,
Shad.
I believe,
Sorry.
yes,
Just introduce myself. Leslie Shad, I'm from 3232 Minocqua Trail, Michigan City. I still am interested in everything I presented last time, but I've also just been concerned about some of the, whether the city has the tools to protect trees on developing property. There are some of these mentioned on the agenda. And, whether the tree ordinance might need modification so that not only the forester, but the tree board and planning and development can actually try to protect trees. So I'm all about trees, and that's the end of my spiel. And I said that you even put the presentation I made on the agenda, so I'd love feedback on anything.
yes, yes.
That's it.
Wonderful.
And I'm happy to help you guys, support however I can, just as a public person.
We appreciate that. Any comments for Leslie? Any thoughts?
Thank you.
Well,
That's fine.
Well, I read the sheet that you provided, and I've got no argument with the vision. As far as what you'd like to see happen under mission 4 and 5 here, I'd like that to stand out, that we want to preserve existing stands of trees.
Yeah,
And perhaps create a Michigan City tree conservancy or whatever you want to call it. I think there is a need for that, especially since I saw many trees cut down on my, within a mile of where I live on Tryon Road.
right.
And there is a permitting process, and my question is the permitting process being followed? That was my question about the Moore Street construction.
Honestly, I have so much to learn about how Michigan City works and what, where people need support on things. I'm just a baby in figuring all of this out. So I'm not, Phil is.
Phil's predecessor, Michael Wolf, he instituted a permitting process, and that was for removal of trees primarily, and so that the right people, the qualified people who were, knew their business, were the ones who were taking out trees, and for a good reason.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're not in favor of trees being removed for no reason. And if there is a good reason, well, they should apply for a permit so that, everyone at the city knows what's happening. So, that's my question. This permitting process, my understanding is it's relatively new.
My understanding of the permitting process that Michael put in place was it applied to city trees, like lawn trees and park trees.
Okay, so not on private properties?
I believe it may have also impacted private property.
Well, obviously, we need clarification.
It does, but Laura is onto something. It's designed more for residential tree removal or maybe a single tree removal for a commercial site or something of that nature, HOA site. We're kind of conflating that with development, which is totally different. So what's happening now, which you're referring to, I was on that site today, and I was talking with the engineer and the tree removal contractor. The developer was unable to meet us. But these development sites need to be handled completely different. And we're at a point in time now where we've realized that, and it's time to work on the tree preservation ordinance and get it so that it's enforceable and so that it needs to be reasonable, it needs to be enforceable. And it just hasn't been either of those things, I think, for quite some time. So Wendy,
That is much
Public
better.
Works Director, and I have been going back and forth because in the 2 months that I've been on this job, I've come across probably just off the top of my head, 4 different developments that I've been in contact with the developer. And what we're finding is that none of them are even aware or being made aware. Now, yes, they do have the responsibility to look at what the ordinances are, but if nobody's enforcing it, they're not going to. So we realize that it needs to be improved substantially, and we're working on it. We're in the very beginning stages of really taking a hard look at that and fixing it, because it needs to be fixed. And furthermore, the developers who, something we're running into as well, is the developers who are accustomed to developing in Michigan City have been doing it for a number of years and have never had to adhere to any of the requirements, and so
They're embracing
not that we're getting any
change.
pushback. We're not. I'm not suggesting that. But you kind of have to be careful with that. Like, hey, I know you guys have never had this before, but guess what?
Right.
Now we're going to have to start
Right.
doing this. Because really what it's all about, and I think what we need to keep focused on as we work on it, is the mitigation aspect of it. Because if somebody owns a lot, now I'm going to circle back to Leslie's initiative here because it's really important. But when somebody owns property, they want to develop it, inside of those building envelopes, inside of where there's going to be roads, inside of, maybe there already is pre-existing wetlands or protected areas, they can't remove trees there, but inside of their building envelopes and where the roads are going to go, they have to be able to remove trees to do their development. We have to be sensitive to that, but also come up with a good and reasonable mitigation plan for that. So if you're gonna remove trees, we're gonna require that we put more trees in somewhere else, and have, maybe it's, I'm just, at this point, just kind of throwing some ideas out there, create a mitigation bank for these things. I think what Leslie's suggesting is a good thing, is to see if we can, if there could be some conservancy or coalition created
Land trust.
like a land trust or something, so that you can pre-purchase areas like that before they're developed. But that's, once they're owned by a developer, the developer is gonna do their thing. It would just be good for us to be able to say, no, these are the rules, this is what we're gonna follow, and this is what you're gonna do to mitigate that. Because we do want development too, right? And from what I understand, a lot of development that's happened up until more recently, it has been, agricultural fields or open spaces or things of that nature. And now we're starting to see, and I haven't been around Michigan City my whole life, but I'm gathering information, talking to people, is that the amount of woodlots that are now being developed is increasing. So it's trending more now, and there's just a lot of clear cutting going on.
Just a couple of thoughts from me, and I thank you for bringing this to our attention because it's important. We can plant trees all day, but protecting existing trees is really important. I do think that the permit that was passed under the previous Forester's Watch is important, and people probably don't know about it yet. That does, like you said, probably pertain more to smaller residential existing lots. I have printed up a piece for us to share about Michigan City tree ordinances at public events so that people are more aware, but it's more public facing, not so much towards developers. I would be fully in favor of having a very robust tree preservation ordinance in Michigan City, and I know that there are model ordinances that are available. For example, I think it's Chicago Region Trees Initiative has silver, bronze, silver, gold level tree ordinances, so I think it would be something really to look into. Of course, it would need to be reviewed by city legal and go through the city council, but I think it would be a great thing to explore. We do want the development, but there are best practices for preserving existing large trees on a construction site.
The Arbor Day Foundation also has similar guidelines for tree preservation.
As far as a conservancy, I don't know, and I love what you've articulated here. I don't know that it's in the tree board's necessarily purview to create a conservancy or, necessarily adopt this, but I would say perhaps we can partner with an existing Save the Dunes or Shirley Hines Land Trust. Shirley Hines, an existing land trust. I know that they are active. They have Ambler Flatwoods that is on the kind of northeast side. They have properties, adjacent. So perhaps we could explore partnering. Barker Woods, yes.
Right. Yeah. And I have started talking a little bit.
Okay.
I'm not sure if they want to do, whether they would do city parks, like, as opposed to Dune and Swale, more, diverse and endangered areas. So I don't know, so let's
Sure.
continue on that.
And there is another ordinance that I think would be worthwhile looking at. This was when Craig Phillips was the city planner. And
What's the number on that, Nancy?
I don't know, that's why I say you need to look it up. But they came up with a plan where they were really encouraging housing being built together. And then the rest of the area around the property being maintained as a, common area that everybody
Okay.
could enjoy. But I think a part of that had to do with trees. And they were very specific. If they were so many inch diameter, if they had to cut them down for development, then they had to be replaced on that property. And if there was no room on that property, then they were able to plant them someplace else within Michigan City. Okay, so all these really large old growth trees we see have been cut down, especially the clear cut that happened on Lure Road and Highway 20. All of those big trees are gone, okay? And I don't know if anybody inventoried them and knew how many were there, but that developer should be responsible for either replacing those on the property or planting the same number of trees someplace else.
Or more.
Within Michigan City.
I've seen often 2 to 1.
Yeah, so you need to look that up.
Okay.
I can't remember who the mayor was then. It could have gone all the way back to when Mayor Muir was in office, and I think it may have been that long ago, actually.
Okay.
Is it 4020? Is it 4020?
What's that, an ordinance number?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar, I'm sorry.
I'm actually looking at it right now. It's 102-40 through 102-51 starts to get into protection of trees and permitting. I think this one, 102-54, is the one that was put in place last year, but again, it's the tree preservation ordinance that we really are talking about.
Yeah.
Here is this. It's the one that's designed more to development.
Yeah, it's designed for development.
Exactly.
So you're not gonna find it with your
Yeah, I mean,
tree
the tree-
ordinances, you're gonna find it in the development section.
And like you said, sometimes it's getting the word out that we have these ordinances in place. I can think of instances where there's been a new development where trees have been removed, and per stormwater and other regulations, they had to then build a wall to shield a residential area, when if they had just left the trees.
There's a builders conference in January. I know that Master Gardeners participates in that. And maybe we need to be present at that.
And also too, if somebody does go ahead and clear cut without a permit, they can be fined and significantly fined.
Okay,
Well, who's gonna tell them that?
When is the builders conference? It's in January.
Phil, maybe? No.
Well, I told about the one on,
But who's going to
Who's
communicate?
gonna tell the developers?
oh, I see. That should be part of the permitting process. They should be given a guide to what the ordinances are in Michigan City with respect to the.
But are they?
But maybe getting an information packet available to the City Hall planners to give to the builders when they come in for permits.
Regarding trees.
Okay, well, we appreciate your comments. I think it's given us a lot of food for thought.
Well, and I think also as your project and interest get more formed, we can certainly alert people to the fact that you're there and you're engaged in that, and as sort of referral, we can point people in your direction.
Great. Well, I mean, I hope that it becomes something with Shirley Hines or with some group where we're just, I'm trying to facilitate. I'm not the boss of this whole, you know,
Oh, that's
just trying
great.
to figure it out.
It's wonderful.
Well, when you find something up for sale, let us know.
Yeah. Well, hopefully before that even, you get to people early so that they're willing to preserve the property.
And Shirley Hines is very skilled at that. Okay, I believe that concludes public comments. Moving on to Secretary Treasurer's report and claims.
Okay, yeah, so I sent out to everyone the financial reports. Everyone get those? I received from the city comptroller, and I have an extra copy if anyone wants extra copy, but, okay. But, the only thing I noticed is that this one did not include one of the lines from last month's. And although, so we have two lines, you can see on the budget performance report, I guess they both say that starts out at the top left, Fund 1101, General Fund. You'll see there's 421 office supplies, and then there also was, underneath that, was operating supplies. And I hope you all remember a discussion we had about that, where that's where we would buy trees, because those really wouldn't be considered office supplies, or we would buy trees or equipment and things like that. And there's, and that line isn't on here, so I did ask about that, and although currently it was at zero. But when Marilyn Walls, the city comptroller, wrote me back, she did also mention that the budgeting process is going on now, and that if we wanted to, that we would get a rollover of what we currently have, great, because I know last year there was a lot of confusion. If we didn't say anything about it, would we lose it? But she said if we wanted to increase that we would need to write a narrative to be presented.
So we probably want to request some money in that line, operating supplies.
Right, or we could split it between office supplies and operating supplies. I don't know if we're gonna get more money.
Split the 500, you mean?
Right,
That sounds good.
so at least we have something in that bucket.
Mhm.
And we don't spend a lot on that. I think I may also request some office supplies from paper and so on. Get me a dozen paper clips, really live it up. But, that's something else we could do, retain the same amount of money, but split it between the two. And I'm sure if something came up, we could probably make an adjustment to take it from one for the other, but so far we haven't been depleting.
My thought is we should ask for at least a little bit more, and figuring that we're probably gonna cut it back anyway, so.
Or I'm gonna make a suggestion to simplify it and just say supplies. And that way you're not having to worry about what you're spending the money on, so just a consideration.
Is that
I don't
an
know.
option?
Well, we had a meeting, it was a while ago, a year ago,
Yeah.
with Mary Lynn Walls. And she's the one that suggested that we have the second line, because I think it's an existing line with that name. And I,
Okay, okay. I'm just always.
no, I hear you.
I'm always about simplifying.
Yes, yeah. But we do have another line, it just wasn't printed on this report. It was last month. I just was going through looking for differences. Okay.
And then you have other supplies too, 429,
439.
429, on the second page.
On the second page, other supplies.
And I will,
You got lots of supplies here.
But that's zero.
Right, again, with zero budget.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
there's lots of supplies here.
and I will also add that, the city, the tree grant that we have through Michigan City, through US Forest Service, that goes to the city, but the tree board was very involved in applying for that, and I think our role is really going to be the community engagement through that. So there are some funds there. I think there are $20,000.
I can get my paper clips.
You know, and I don't envision it being, you know, something that would be for our general operating, but for engagement and outreach materials, there's some money there. I'll update later that Phil and I have been in some conversations with the mayor and the city staff on that. So just keep that in mind, that if, you know, if you're printing things that are engagement and public outreach, I think there may be some ability there to work with the city to have those printed through the grant.
And that's all like
Things like that.
This is a tag that goes on a tree in English and Spanish.
I'll note, in looking at the reports, at the top, it has Fund 1101 General Fund, and that's where our office supplies and operating supplies, you know, rest. And then it starts out Fund 4500 Grant Fund, and that's where that 429 other supplies is. Different bucket, yeah.
Okay.
And that's why we have numbers like $12,798. That was not budgeted, but apparently it has been spent. That's what that is.
I know funds are moving in, the grant funds are moving in and then moving out as they are spent. Okay, and our treasurer for the tree board is the city comptroller, so that concludes my presentation of the, yes, unless there are other questions.
Yeah, my question is, are we going to ask for
Oh, yes, thank you.
something? And if so, do we need to make a vote on what we ask for?
Yeah, I would think we need to vote, but I don't know if we know what we want to do yet.
Yeah, it sounds as though typically we've had 500.
Right.
And though that has been in
Office supplies.
supplies, it would be nice for it to be general supplies, but it sounds as though these are more specific categories. Operating supplies, office supplies. It sounds as though Laura has suggested maybe we request a little bit more, which we would need some documentation or some narrative to request that.
I have a couple questions on that. One is because we do have a healthy budget and, you know, where we could use some funds for outreach, which need to be about the federal grant, but could be an umbrella. And I've heard a lot of pushback about not asking for extra. And we have, on the other is, you know, this year we so far we spent $52.02. So we're not gonna bump up against the 500 that I can foresee, although I could ask for very expensive paper clips. But, okay, I'll drop that. But I would, I think we would be okay with having $250 in each of those two buckets is my thought.
How about 300 in each bucket? That's not much of a raise.
We can ask for 300 in each bucket, and then if we don't get it, I think that would be okay.
So we're saying 250 in office supplies and 250 in.
No, 300 in each.
300 in each, office supplies and operating.
So I'll make that a motion if you like. What she said.
300 in each of those, of the office supplies and operating supplies. Okay.
Now we would, then it sounds as though we would need to provide some narrative to substantiate that.
Did you want to do that?
Not especially, but I suppose I could.
Well, we're unlikely to ever spend $500 on office supplies. So if we just leave it there, they're gonna cut it someday. And, you know, most of what we do is not in an office, so.
That's true. If we haven't used what we have this year, why would we give us extra?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are spending out of their own pocket, so I think it would be good for people to present receipts, so that, you know, we can see that it is being used.
Now maybe we should make it 200, 300.
Okay, I would be able to get behind that. I would not vote for increasing it myself, but that's just my vote.
So it sounds as though we're considering making it 200, 300.
Did you want to amend your motion?
I amend my motion as she said.
Okay, so 200 in which one?
Office supplies.
Office supplies? Okay, and 300 in operating supplies.
Okay, so we have a motion for 200 in office supplies and 300 in operating supplies.
I second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay.
And then I have a procedural question.
Yes.
You usually vote on accepting the treasurer's report?
Last time you said we didn't have to. Or somebody said we didn't have to.
I wasn't here last time.
Right.
Well, one time somebody said we didn't have to. Because what are we going to do if we don't accept her report?
It's from the,
Shall we?
Sure.
This is typical usually.
Okay, yeah. That's why we have a city council liaison here. Moving back to secretary, treasurer's report and claims. Do I have a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Secretary, treasurer's report and claims approved.
Oh, gosh. Misspelled Tim Warner's name, I think. It's like Time Warner Magazine.
Your computer did it.
Okay, and we have voted also to submit a budget of request of 200 for office supplies and 300 for operating supplies to the city.
Right.
So we'll need to get communicated to them.
Yes, I will send that to them, but we will need to, if someone could help with a kind of narrative justification, I'd appreciate that.
I can take a stab at it.
Okay, moving on then to communications, emails. I have Time Warner.
Please adjust that to Tim Warner, I'm sorry. Misspelled his name. Who was the prior president of the tree board and attended, no, actually, I think someone else sent it to him and he sent it on to us. Stormwater drainage handouts that related to trees and how important they are, some of the things we just talked about with development. And so I put those up on our Facebook page.
Great. Thank you. And I think you're doing a wonderful job with Facebook. I noticed that we get a lot of engagement, not just posts, but engagement.
Good.
And we have Isabel Galvin Ellis, Denise Blau reappointments.
So City Hall sent on Denise your reappointment.
I did it.
Yes, yeah. And so you went in and they sent then a copy to me for the records. And then I updated our agenda that has start dates. Doesn't have a start. I took off the start dates because that was too confusing and was somewhere in the future. And just added the end date and I updated yours to August 2028.
Excuse me, who is Isabel Galvin Ellis?
From the City Hall. From City Hall, she's in the mayor's office.
Okay.
Okay. And under emails and communications, I did want to raise one issue. I'd like a little clarity on just making sure when we are communicating with one another via email between meetings. It's been brought to our attention that sometimes that can constitute quorum without public interface when we don't intend it to. I realize though that there is a need for us to coordinate when we're just saying, hey, who's gonna staff farmer's market or an event. So is there any place that we can find some clarity on that of what is
I can
acceptable?
give it to you.
Okay,
So whoever is asking for the volunteers, they become the primary
okay,
manager of that email.
okay,
So when people are saying, I can help, I can't help, just respond to that person, reply to that person, do not reply to all.
okay.
When you reply to all, then you're setting up quarterly.
Okay,
Okay, well, it's very helpful to know if anyone or no one is gonna be staffing the farmer's market.
Mhm.
Is that considered city
Who's
business?
coordinating that though? Who's coordinating that within this group? Is that you,
Mhm.
Mary, or is it Betsy? Who's the coordinator for that event?
and I don't know that we've really assigned that.
No, that's not an assigned role. I mean, I often will put that out there because I see it's come up in the agenda.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's how the Sustainability Commission
Okay.
has kept away from establishing a quorum in communication.
Okay. And certainly I can see definitely for more substantive issues where we're discussing a development or an issue,
We do that for going to conferences. we do
for
that
everything,
for-
okay.
But who has the tree board flag? I mean, that's,
I currently do, but I
no, I'm not truly asking
That's
that
an
question.
example.
It's that kind of question. Who has the handouts? I mean, who has
I'm just saying, I'm just
Yeah,
absolutely
no,
nothing?
I appreciate it.
And
We
I'm
don't
and I'm
wanna-
just trying to clarify, okay.
I'm keeping you safe.
Yeah, I think we appreciate that. So, perhaps we should establish a point of contact for outreach events, I think is the main thing. So
I think I have enough going on, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that.
I think you do.
I
I
will
was
be the
trying to
point
do
of
that, but
contact
it's too
for
complicated.
events that I'm coordinating,
Okay.
not all.
Right.
For
Okay,
example, I was coordinating the LaPorte County Master Gardener Show earlier
Right,
this
right.
year. And kind of threw that together at the last minute. But I can't be at
Yeah.
every event.
so,
Yeah, I don't think being coordinator means you're gonna be at every event.
Well, and I don't know if the same person is gonna have the same kind of interest or wanna coordinate every event. I mean, I think each event probably will end up having a different, could have a different outreach coordinator.
Yeah.
A coordinator.
That's what I'm thinking.
I agree. Each event, whoever is kind of initiating and taking the lead can be the primary
Well, I think
contact.
we can just decide that at our meeting when things come up.
And we can just keep a note of who has the materials. So currently, I have the materials. So if an event comes up, you know to reach out directly to me. Okay, thank you. I'm glad we addressed that. Also, under communications, Facebook, we have Facebook Friends of Michigan City Tree Board. I know you've already mentioned that you.
Yeah, we have about 185-ish, members, and
That's good.
a few months ago, it was just 100, so.
Yeah, it's increasing, and I noticed a lot of engagement, so.
And I put some stuff up in there to see.
Yeah, I was going to. I know we have a list of events that are going to be coming up, and maybe when we go through that, that might be a time to designate who is going to be, in charge of that event. And Betsy and I have already talked about it, and since I'm still involved with the Master Gardeners, I will take over our engagement and connection with the Master Gardeners Spring.
For the spring event, okay.
Wonderful.
So I'll be the contact person for that. So when we get around to looking at all of the events, that would also be a good time for us to say, okay, who's the active, overseer of that?
That's a great idea.
And especially for new folks, if you're wondering, I did send out in one of my many emails, the tree board yearly activities, it's just a very informal list of, those are some of the activities that are being referred to.
One other thing under Facebook, I believe I have access, if it's okay with everyone, I would like to post, NERC has an invasive species replacement program.
Great.
Where private residents can get a free
Yeah, I
tree for
saw that.
replacing. So I'll post that to Facebook.
Sure.
Yes, I highly encourage, I am not territorial with that, so
Okay.
very happy to see others posting.
The more content, the better.
Yes.
And I think Laura, myself, and Jen are the administrators, so if anyone has other content that you want to see, you could contact one of us, or if you have a burning desire to keep up on all of that, look at being an administrator as well.
Yes. Thank you. We also have Nextdoor watering volunteers.
Yeah, so I'm trying to, yes, I originally posted on Nextdoor asking for volunteers, because I know we weren't getting a lot of information asking for volunteers for the 4 elementary school sites in where trees were planted this past season. And so I put same kind of information on Nextdoor, and I think, I know we got several volunteer people who are interested, and a couple of cranky calls, but in general, very nice people, and I directed them to you, Betsy. And
Yes,
how did
and
that
I
go?
followed up with as many as you sent me, as promptly as I could. We actually had 2 residents who lived near Pine School who both wanted to adopt those trees, and I just let the first one take it. And so we currently have people who have committed to watering through the summer at least, at Pine and at Edgewood.
Oh, that's all?
Yes, there was someone who did not, I tried to follow up with her about Springfield, and that didn't really pan out. So I went to Springfield and Marsh this week.
Thank you.
Watered the trees and checked on the mulch,
Oh,
etc.
thank you.
Is there a water source at Marsh?
No,
Okay.
and there's nobody there, so
Right, yeah.
it would be locked if it was. So I have containers, I just put them in the back of my car and drive over there.
One aside that I have recently done, Phil's made the recommendation, and I just went ahead and purchased it because it was $35. I got a 100-gallon watering tank. It's kind of like a bladder tank that I can put in a pickup and go water a set of trees.
Please
Wow.
put your receipt into the city comptroller.
I mean,
I think that's the kind of.
That's
I think
exactly the kind of
Yes,
operating
to show that we need
supplies.
that, because.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stop making
If you
donations.
wouldn't mind, please.
yeah,
To show that we use stuff and we need stuff.
but it's pretty handy.
That's great.
Well, it doesn't matter if you use
Yeah.
it for your own purposes when we're
In
not.
addition, right.
Okay, well, next week, would you like to go to Pine, not to Pine, to Marsh and?
Yes,
Because I won't
yes.
be back next week.
I will do March.
Marsh and
Springfield.
Springfield.
I can do that, yes.
And everything's alive.
Oh, that's great, because it's been a very hard.
It's been a hard
summer.
spring. Yeah.
Right.
Very.
And what I'm going to do is, see, a lot of these schools, there's nobody there even to answer the phone. So what I'm going to do is, when school reopens, I'm going to contact all these schools and say, it's time for you guys
Yes,
to resume watering.
and try to find someone for next summer who could continue it.
Well, that's,
You know, it might
the
go
way
fast.
schools operate, they don't always look that far ahead.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to contact Marsh anyway, because they might be able to have, use more trees. But no, they are committed to watering
That's great.
until the hard frost.
That's great.
Fantastic.
That's great. And if there's anyone watching who's interested in being a watering volunteer at those 4 elementary schools, Pine, Edgewood, but especially Springfield and Marsh, please, you can message on our Facebook page or contact the city forester.
We don't need Pine and Edgewood now.
Okay, so Springfield and Marsh. But I'm
Right.
wondering, even with those 2 volunteers at Pine, if they could,
I'm leaving that up to them.
Yeah.
so they know about each other. Great. Okay, thank you so much for all of that.
Don't know if they've
That's a lot
actually
of coordinating.
communicated.
That's a lot of coordinating. Thank you so much, Betsy. I have one other item under communication, just that Phil and I are working together on a press release just updating the public about progress on the
Oh,
grant,
great.
the inventory,
Oh, that sounds
the
great.
removals that are going to be starting up, as well as the replanting. So I will share that, but we are working together on that with the city.
Excellent.
To get that out.
And we should also put that on our Facebook page when
Yes.
it's finished.
Yes, and hopefully it gets picked up. Okay, moving on to.
Hopefully it gets picked up by like the media out there, yes.
Yes. Moving on then to committee reports. We have outreach and engagement. I do have several updates under outreach and
I
engagement.
do too.
Okay, you wanna go? You want me to go?
Well, the next community grant application is due August 8th, and I am working on that.
Thank
And
you.
I intend to submit the application on time and under budget. So I've been in touch this summer, or attempted to get in touch with other schools, particularly elementary schools, other than the ones that we contacted last year. So that leaves us with some Catholic schools and some other schools. So I sent letters to Queen of All Saints, to St. Stan's, to St. Paul's Lutheran, and not an elementary school, but there is a Paladin daycare center on Tryon Road. And I heard back from all of those except St. Paul's,
Which I think is defunct. They don't have, I think they went out of business.
okay.
That might be why.
It certainly looks like that, and they don't have any space for trees.
Yeah, I think they sold the book.
But we have interest from the several schools, and I intend to reach back to Marsh, because they were the most, they have room for more trees than the two we planted. And then you maybe had
Yes,
something at
Joy
Joy?
Elementary is interested. I have sent an email to the kindergarten teacher. They are apparently doing a tree unit.
Okay,
Oh.
well, maybe you can give me that information later, in time for the application.
Yes.
So that leaves us, that gives us requests of about 10 to 12 trees. Now, we're not eliminating or homeowners that want trees, but to my knowledge, we don't have any homeowners that requested trees at
I know
the
there was
farmer's market or any other event.
I know there's, in all those, the packets of materials, there was like some sign-up sheets that may have included some volunteers, maybe it included if people wanted trees.
Some of those are like real old,
Yes.
not even dated.
Right.
And
That's the
we'll
only thing I know
also
about.
be doing a lot of outreach, and we have 500 trees to be planted
Great.
on the city right of way.
Great.
Okay,
So private owners could be interested for, within their private lot, but we do have 500 trees to be planted.
all right, well, I just wanted to say that if somebody was in an area that wasn't going to be included in these 500 trees, and there are a few small areas, we would be open to putting them on our community list. But right now, we're focusing on the schools, because that's not where Phil and company are going to be planting, to my knowledge. And probably not parks either. I mean,
Parks, yes.
you will be
Yes.
planting parks, so,
Parks, yes, schools, no.
okay,
There's
so,
quite a few trees going in parks.
but, I mean, the thing about the schools is, not only are we adding a few more trees to Michigan City, but we're getting children from the school
Yes,
are
yes, yes.
attending the planting, and
Excellent.
they
I
are
agree.
just so excited that I think that's the education and engagement part of it.
I like your strategy, Betsy, of working with the schools. I think it's kills two birds with one stone. Well, we don't want to kill birds. Feeds two birds with one
Right.
seed.
So you heard back from, was it all, what is it?
Queen of All Saints,
Okay.
St. Stan's, I haven't heard from Paladin, but I'm pretty sure we could fit a tree over there. And Marsh, I'm going to be just confirming with them that we can plant more trees.
Okay, thank you.
Last year, we considered planting 5 and we ended up planting 2. So 3 more trees, they have plenty of room.
Great.
Okay, I'll go through my updates very quickly, but there has been a lot of movement. Phil and I planted some trees out at the Boys and Girls Club. Phil found 2 trees that were abandoned at Michigan City facilities.
Tree rescue.
And so we went and
Great.
rescued them and got them planted. We also,
What
Phil,
was that?
just not too
Last
long
week,
ago.
a week ago
Last week,
yesterday.
yeah, we just wanted to get them in the ground. It's not the right time of season to plant them.
It was almost 100 degrees that day.
Yeah, we just wanted to get them in the ground, get them mulched and watered. We also have the previous 4 or 5 trees that we planted. Some of them were leaning, so Phil and his team got them staked. I took out some mulch, been watering those. So
Those are the ones you brought up last week.
Yes.
Month Betsy.
so
Have you
they,
been by there?
Yeah, I went there just 2
Can we
days
get your
ago.
thumbs
Okay.
up?
yeah, it's looking good as far as I can tell. One of the trees is a little hit or miss in terms of how long it was
Thank you for doing that.
But yeah, we're gonna keep an eye on them, and I'm gonna baby them with my new watering.
Oh, that's right.
If you went last week after Tuesday, the 2 new ones that we just rescued are there too. We put them right.
Okay, I think I missed those.
Dogwood and a redbud.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it was not ideal tree planting conditions, but they were sitting in a container for over a year from what I was told, so.
I was amazed they were
I
alive.
mean, they were gonna die if they were sick
Yeah.
when they were anyway, so we'll see what
Now
happens.
they're in the ground and all.
They're not in really good shape, so if you see them, they were pretty rough. I took pictures, but they're small trees, they're containerized. So
All right, so
I'm hopeful.
we'll look for those.
Phil and I have also been on some calls with the mayor and her staff discussing a community engagement plan for the grant. Isabel, who is with, I don't recall her last name, it might be the same Isabel.
think so.
Galvanellis, yeah.
Galvanellis, is kind of their PR person, I believe. So she's been in discussions as well. We would like to focus on utilizing existing city events for our outreach activities through the
Very
grant.
good.
I did draft a survey just to gauge resident feelings on trees, thoughts on trees. Where do you want to see trees? Where do you not want to see trees? What do you love about trees? What do you hate about trees? And Isabel has graciously agreed to help redesign that because I'm not a graphic designer. So she will be working to reformat that. We've gotten her feedback on the content. We will be also printing some signs that I believe I previously presented here to display at community plantings, to display the benefits of trees. We've also decided on kind of a selfie sign, if you've ever seen those, to encourage people to post to, I think, our Friends of Michigan City Tree Board, to channel people there. I was also thinking about like a free tree hug sign that we could put at events. I thought that would be cute.
Yes.
Phil is working on some, I believe you said you'd work on some large maps displaying Michigan City tree inventory. The idea being that then residents at events can put a Post-it note or a sticker on there showing where they'd like to see trees, where they have issues with trees. And Phil, you've been in these meetings, so chime in on any of this. We were not able to staff the police national night out. I had a conflict and it was very last minute. The mayor's currently making a list of city events that we might be able to partake in.
Oh, good.
Oktoberfest, apparently applications for that were due on August 1st, but we have an email saying that they would welcome us to be a free vendor to have a booth at Oktoberfest. That is August, setup is August 3rd, August 28th.
October?
August.
It's August.
Okay,
It's Labor Day weekend, isn't it?
It is
Right.
Labor Day weekend.
okay, just because the name, Oktoberfest, I was just thinking maybe it was in October.
So I am more than willing to go set up on Thursday and also to tear down on Monday.
Wait a minute. What we normally provide at other events does not require a setup the day before
That's true.
or a tear down the day after. When we were at the LaPorte
Birthday?
County
Yeah.
Master Gardener
Master
Show,
Gardener.
we had, we
Yeah.
had stuff. We had a few things, but it was like 20 minutes.
Well, I'm sure we could I could set up on a Friday.
Do they provide tables?
They don't, we have to provide everything, but I have tables.
Okay.
I'm hoping that we can get our outreach materials for the grant ready by then so that we can distribute that survey.
I wouldn't leave any paper overnight.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it would be nice to have others. I will be the event coordinator for that if we're in agreement that we would like to do that event. It would be nice to have others help with that over the weekend, but I am willing to.
Well, if you could let us know more specifically the hours.
Yes.
I am not willing to be there the day before or the day after. For me,
Okay.
that's just insanity.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean,
we're not serving
yeah.
beer, making
the
sandwiches.
the Monday that would be tear down is the last day of the event, so it would be the actual, day of the event.
So this is Friday, 29th, the 30th, the 31st?
Yes,
And then the 1st of September.
yes.
And where is it located?
Washington Park.
I'll be out of town that time.
Okay. Well, if everyone's in favor,
Well, what kind of, are we just gonna hand out pieces of paper or tell people, or do we have something more than?
yeah, my thought was that we have available information that has contact information for the tree board as well as the city for who to get in contact through the city with tree questions. We've been handing out a 2-pager that has information on the city ordinances, so we can
Okay.
get the word out on those. This survey that we're printing and working on with the city to gather resident feedback, I'm hoping that we can get that professionally designed and printed by then. And then if we're able to procure those maps by then, we could, my
that would
intention
be
is to
good.
gather
Maybe the
resident.
selfie screen too.
Yes.
Maybe I missed it, but what are the hours? You said the days?
It says recommended vendor hours are 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. So that's a long
Well,
day.
we could divide that into shifts.
Mhm.
And we don't have to be there the whole till 8.
8 p.m. Yeah, that's.
No, there's nobody at 8 p.m. That's,
As Liz Lemon said, at night.
So I'll send something around. I'll send it from myself, and then I'll be the primary contact there, so that anyone who can sign up for a shift can sign up for a shift.
Yep, what I'm aware of in that activity, 12 to 5 at the latest.
Okay.
yeah, I think activities after that will be mostly,
Oktoberfest.
yeah.
Yeah.
Consuming
We might get more
liquids.
candid feedback from residents after.
No, that's,
Interesting selfies.
Candid.
I did purchase, which maybe I'll submit for reimbursement. It was like
Good.
$6.
Yeah.
I don't care. Denise at the farmer's market had a recommendation that we make some pins or some kind of a giveaway to people. For now, I love the idea of the pins, and I want us to pursue that. No, but like pins.
like
Yes.
these? Oh,
Yes.
these are not that cheap.
Well, I have a pin maker, so it would really just be purchasing the supplies and coming up with the design that we want on it.
Especially for kids, when they come to the
Yeah.
farmer's market.
But we need to have something to give out, I feel.
We gave out,
I agree.
little sweets at the,
I did,
we had a quiz.
coloring pages too.
It would be
Yeah,
nice
we
to have
have-
children's
I
activity.
have some coloring pages, and at the LaPorte Farmers, Master Gardener, very few kids were at all interested in that.
Did you have a bowl of crayons?
I had some lovely colored pencils, but maybe cheap broken crayons would attract more attention. I don't know.
Crayons are a magnet.
I did for now purchase some tree stickers They were
I like stickers.
they were very cheap, and so
They're
it's an
much
easy
cheaper
giveaway.
than buttons.
Yeah. So for now, we have stickers that we can give away.
Are they, are they have a picture on them, or I love trees?
They're
or
different
something?
tree themed. I love trees. You know,
Okay, how many do you have?
I think I got 100.
That's a good start.
It's a start.
And you have supply money.
And what's it?
You have supply money.
And we have supply money. Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if the supply money could be used for that. I believe.
Yeah.
The tree grant, I'm not sure. Sometimes they're weird about that kind of thing with a grant. So, so we can work on that.
But yeah, we've got
Love
the funds.
the idea of having something. Okay. I did just want to note, ordering for trees for spring, that was sent. Hopefully everyone received I think you passed it out last time, actually. You had copies of it?
I had copies of what the prior year was, and then just yesterday, I think, they sent, yes, oh, yeah, it's right there in front of me here. So here are the species, here's the copies for the board. Got some cheap old paper here, but
And I don't know that we need an in-depth conversation on this tonight, but I'd like everyone to review it. I think you mentioned that as well, Mary Nell, that at the September meeting.
right,
We want
and I will
to-
not be here.
Okay,
in
so if
September.
you would like to weigh in on your thoughts.
Well, okay, well, I'll go along with the group, but I think what we had talked about before is the last grouping there, deciduous small tree / shrub. I love the idea of, and they'll seem to be more popular, plum and buttonbush and elderberry. Maybe not redbud because they're everywhere, although they are.
I would not, we did give away American plum once, and there were people who were imagining growing these big juicy plums, and that's not what American plum tree
Well, okay,
produces.
anyway, I'll just stop there and say that I like the idea of deciduous small tree ones.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll look those over, but I think that would have to get decided at the next meeting.
Yes,
And then,
it has to be ordered on the first.
yes, exactly on the first, if you want to get the ones you want. And
The
then,
1st of October?
yes.
Yes.
I like the idea of ordering one of these packets because it would be nice to have some actual shade trees involved with this. I mean, we can't give away 100 oak trees, that does not work.
So you all can think about that, and then at the next meeting, flip it.
All right.
Hash that out. Now, what I'm not sure about, I'm looking at you, Phil, is who can call this in, or do it online, I should say, because I think then you have to, provide like a credit card or something like that, unless through the city, you can defer it with an invoice. So, did you receive this, or can I send this down to you? So it's got
I did not receive it, so.
Okay, yeah, I'll send this to you, that's
And Phil, I would say if you have thoughts at the next meeting, if you're able to attend, on tree board meeting.
Oh, of course.
On species recommendations, because I think last year we gave black oak, we gave plum, black oak, plum, we gave
River
pawpaw,
birch,
river birch,
pawpaw, nine bark,
nine bark, and
white
I'll
pine.
send you the email. from them
It
as
says
well.
you do not need a credit card to submit it.
So like last year, or 2 years ago when I tried to submit it, I had
Have
to
we done this in the
like give a
past?
credit card.
the city forester has
Right.
ordered them, but the tree board has,
Right.
agreed upon the species to distribute. We usually get 5.
So
The
that can be discussed next month.
forester has weighed in on that as well.
The tree.
But we do like to give at least one larger
I'm sorry,
tree.
I'll get back to one
So those aren't as popular. So we learned this last spring that the small, as Marinelle was saying, the smaller ornamental trees, they are just more popular. So,
Especially if you have a small yard.
yes, yes.
Well, if push comes to shove, it says you do not need a credit card, but if it's difficult for, somehow not possible for you to do this, Bill, I'll call them up with my credit card.
No, I can do it, it's not a problem, but because there are two different budgets, would the tree board just reimburse the city back? I don't have a city credit card either,
Gotcha.
so I mean, I would have to take this probably to someone in central services or
I'm
whoever.
thinking this money comes out of
Yeah, I believe
our budget.
So the tree board is
The
paid
tree board
for-
doesn't have an account.
we don't have a
in-
credit card either.
So we could do it through the city and then you could just reimburse the city,
Yeah.
essentially.
Well, it comes out of our donations.
Exactly, right.
So I don't
one of
mind doing the
these-
paperwork.
But it sounds like Betsy said that she's okay, ordering the trees.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that might be easier,
Yeah.
and then I'll get reimbursed from our donation.
Allegedly.
So I would like to ask that if we put that on the agenda perhaps for next time?
Yes.
I don't know
Then I can
where, I don't know where it
order
goes,
anything
but.
And then,
Okay.
under outreach and engagement, under Boys and Girls Club planting, that is farmer's market. I don't know if we're getting there or if we've gone past that.
No, we haven't gotten there yet.
Yep, let's go there.
Okay.
Farmer's market?
I'll
So-
give it to her.
So I'm hearing that people were at I did not know that there was the tree board represented at the farmer's market Saturday, so that's great.
Was there?
It sounds like you were there.
The last month when you and I were there.
No, about this past Saturday.
Past Saturday.
Oh, no, it wasn't me.
No, was anyone at the farmer's market? Okay, so we did not have a presence.
I'm guessing that if we cover this event at Washington Park, we're gonna reach more people than we could at both of these farmers markets combined.
I would personally agree with that. I think that farmers market is a great idea, and I think it's a great idea for maybe even the first and the last event of the year. But I feel like we're starting to reach the same audience over and over.
Have we paid to be there?
No.
No. So I'm suggesting that we skip the farmer's market in September and October, unless October's the last one.
It is last
It
one.
is the last one.
Well, possibly skip it, the September, because that's very close to the Oktoberfest
Right.
time.
I would agree.
And, it would be difficult to get people to cover both of those things.
Well, I sent an email back, I think, to one of you two, that I would cover the farmer's market in October,
Okay.
hand out whatever we have,
Yeah.
hand out and let them know about the spring trees.
I think that would be great to
So
cover
I would cover
October.
October.
Okay.
Anyone else for October?
Yeah,
I
I'll
think I
definitely do that. And October is important in regard to getting out information concerning,
Yes.
now is the time to do planting, now is the time to do pruning with advice with someone overseeing. So October is an important month.
I agree. That's why I said October, because I can't do September too.
Okay. So are we, I don't know that we need to vote
No.
formally, but we're going to skip, are we in agreement that we'll skip September
September.
and do October? And then the mayor is on board with us engaging in other city events.
Great. So Denise, Dennis, and Laura will be at the October event.
And if I have the materials, I'll bring them
Okay.
to set up.
Yeah, or you can drop them at my house if you're not gonna be there.
Okay.
That's fine.
Perfect.
Okay, and then, at the beginning of next year, we can look at what farmer's market months we want to be at. And then that, because I know sometimes people's schedules change and it's hard to know if you're available on a Saturday, but maybe, hopefully decide that ahead of time as much as possible.
Okay. The last item, I believe, under community engagement, outreach and engagement, is Arbor Day Foundation activities. Any updates there?
No, but I have to get on that. And I know I had promised you I was gonna send you an email, but I don't know until like mid-December. For our application, which is due the end of December.
Okay. But I believe we've met all the requirements, so
Right.
should be in good shape.
We have to give calculations of how much money we've spent this year and number of trees planted
Okay.
and number of that stuff, and I don't It
We've
sounds
got
like
a ways to
we're
go.
way fine on that, I just don't have the exact numbers.
Okay, Bill's
Send it
reporting
over
is
and
great.
it'll be best to do it in December when all this work is done. So
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to City Forester's report, which was sent by Phil.
did everyone have a chance to read the city forester?
No, I did not.
When did you send it out?
Well, I sent it to Jen yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
why we
that's
did
why.
it.
Did you not disseminate it to there?
I didn't, I'm
Okay,
so
well
sorry.
that's fine, no problem.
I didn't realize that it was to disseminate to the rest of the group. I apologize.
Okay, no problem. I know that's the way we did it the last time. That's what I was instructed to do.
Yes,
So-
you're right.
So, actually, a good point to you about the quorum. You know,
Yes.
say-
No, that's the
So,
way that we should
And
do
maybe
it.
that's why I was told, but.
That's the way we should do it. That is, no.
Either way, I'll give you the
apologize.
quick rundown, and then Jen, you can send it to them, the
Yes,
rest of them later.
Yes,
Um,
I will tonight.
a lot of it was actually covered here tonight anyway, so it's fine. The reason I didn't do it at the very end of the month, because I actually did write it on July 30th and 31st, but I was waiting because there was a Monday night, August 4th Board of Works meeting that was really important, so I could wrap up a lot of this information to give you guys. Otherwise, by the time we get to the September 3rd meeting for the tree board, it would have been old news. There's already trees being removed. So I really wanted to wait to the results of that night. And so I'm going to go through this pretty quickly.
Good.
If you remember from the June Forester's report, we got requests for proposals out to 11 tree removal contractors and 6 tree planting contractors for the removal of 350 trees and the planting of 500 trees. The bids were received on July 16th at the Board of Works meeting. Then there was a review period between myself, the city attorney, public works director, who also was involved. I can't remember at the time, but there was a team of us reviewing those. We chose in both cases the lowest bidder, but we made sure that we vetted them and they are most qualified to do it, so that by the August 4th, 2 weeks later, at Board of Works, which was just the day before yesterday, the contracts were officially approved and signed.
Great.
Oh,
So-
wonderful.
So yeah, so this is big news. So we've got Homer Tree Services out of Lockport, Illinois was the winning bidder for the tree removals at $305,000 to remove the 350 trees and grind the stumps. They were 40% lower than the second lowest bidder with obviously a very reputable and storied track record of being able to accomplish jobs of this size. For the tree planting, it was awarded to Dogwood Hills Tree Farm from Middlebury, Indiana. They were 32% lower than the second lowest bidder, who was doing the landscaping right here out of Michigan City. Their bid was $238,335, which came out to be about $476 a tree, and that's an installed price. So that's the cost of the tree and installation.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to be meeting with the representative from Homer Tree on the week of the 18th to get a kickoff meeting started so they can get started. They have a deadline of December 31st of this year to complete that work. They're confident they can do it. And then I've already been working, even in the last 3 days, with Dogwood Hills with the logistics. Their work won't start till the trees are dug, which will be sometime in October. Well, they have to lose their leaves, obviously, before they're dug. And then we're planning on roughly, and it all depends on the weather, November 1st start date for tree planting. Their deadline is November 30th. And that's a lot of trees from the ground in a month, but they're confident they can do it as well. So this is a really important thing. This might be the most important thing that I talked to you about tonight. So this would be something to pay close attention to. Now that those numbers are in, when you add the tree inventory to the $305,000 for the removal and $238,000, there's been some miscellaneous costs. I think last month Drew told us about where we were at. I think it was just under $100,000. By the end of this year, not counting any of the outreach stuff that Jen has previously mentioned at this meeting, we'll be around $615,000 out of the $1 million spent. Now, what that means is this: when you start to, I've been waiting for that day, those bid openings, to be able to start to project and extrapolate those numbers across what our milestones want to be. It does not look like we're going to be able to plant the 1,500 trees. The numbers just don't add up. We could probably do 1,000, because the other thing is we've got to get the watering contracts, which now that the tree planting plan is completely done, I sent that to Jen also, so please disseminate that to the group as well.
Yes.
We're gonna be probably north of 700,000 by the time we get to next spring. So I don't think we're gonna be able to plant 1,500 trees. Not unless tree planting, or the cost of trees substantially go down, but unfortunately they're going the other way.
That's not bad.
So, if we get 1,000 trees in the ground, I still think it's a huge victory. It's still 1,000 trees we wouldn't have planted without the grant, so that's good. We also still have a second round of removals. We're taking care of the high priority ones, those 350 trees. There are still more that need to come down as well. And although tree planting is really important, the removal of potential high risk, trees is too. So to quote one of my colleagues, nobody ever got killed by the tree that didn't get planted. So we gotta keep that in mind. We still have to make sure we're allocating dollars for tree removal as well, even if it means we might have to sacrifice some planting some. Either way, I just don't see us being able to do the 1,500 trees. I've shared this with Drew, we've talked about it, he's looking at numbers too, he gets it. So that's just really important to know, but it's still not bad news. We're gonna plant a lot of trees, it's gonna be great. So I did complete the tree planting plan. It was quite a task. I had this slot. So one of my staff members and I went out and located the 500. We used it over 550 because once the rubber meets the road, as they say, we're gonna need some backup planting spaces. There's utility conflicts that are sure to happen, or for whatever reason we can't plant where we wanted to. So we've got about 10% overage for backups in case we can't plant where we want to. So we located 550 open planting spaces. The best of the 5,000 that we collected when we did the inventory, the very best of the best. The first time you do this is always easiest because you got 5,000 spots, just pick the best ones, right? Future plantings from the spring of 2026 will be replacements for the ones that are coming down now, if that makes sense. So that's really good. What was really painstaking is going into the GIS and selecting the proper species for those 500 spots. That took me the better part of about 4 days, but it's done. In the tree planting plan that you'll see, when Jen gets that to you, I didn't make the entire map set for you and list out all 500 addresses. It's all entered. Please know that it's entered into the city's GIS, so we can get those lists to the contractor when the time comes. But for the sake of not giving you a 40-page report, it was more of an executive summary style tree planting plan that you guys will have. But maybe next month I can bring my laptop, we can put it up on the big TV and I can kind of show you how the methodology went. So that it's all about putting the right tree in the right spot.
Yes.
So when we were out there looking at those, we were looking at light levels, grow space, topography for wet sites versus dry sites, and making sure that a tree that came from the list that Dogwood Hills bid on, it's like putting together a puzzle.
Sure.
So it was quite fun. You'll also see the species list of the 500 trees. We're doing 18 species. The spring is going to be a few more. And the reason is in the spring you have the opportunity to plant a multitude of species where you're a little bit more limited in the fall. Because number one, you can't plant oaks, you can't plant tulip trees, you can't plant redbuds. There's a whole other list that you can't plant. So 18 species is good, but I want to get to at least 25 by the time we do the spring 2026 planting.
Great.
But it will be heavily oak because we didn't do any oaks at all. And that pretty much wraps up everything.
I'm sorry, it'll be heavily oak because we didn't do
Because
oak?
we can't plant oaks in the fall.
In the spring.
Oh, okay, I hear you now. Okay.
So I'm sorry, in the spring, to clarify there, in the spring of 2026, we're going to be heavily oak.
Gotcha.
Because it's just not a good idea to dig oaks in the fall. You can plant oaks in the fall, but you'd have to use above ground stock, meaning it was dug in the spring, and you don't really have a good idea of, has it been watered, is someone taking care of it, where is it coming from, and then you wind up with a lot of tree mortality at that point. So I've just would rather plant,
Gotcha.
do a lot of oaks in the spring.
Thank you.
If we plant 250 is what we want to plant in the spring, I'd like to do 100 oaks. But we'll vary the species of oak, so that we're I want to get up to at least 25 species. I'm excited about that. That wraps up everything for the grant. As for just operational work, other city forester duties, a lot of them have already been covered. I covered in the report Jen and I's tree rescue there, which was awesome. And the fact that we did correct those trees that Betsy brought up last month with the liens. So, and then two last things. We have a new system in Central Services that I'm really excited about also. It's called Kintone. The city is all moving towards being on this. Right now, various departments are on it, but it's making communications between myself and everybody that sends me requests to look at trees unbelievably smooth. Even in the last 2 months, the difference is like night and day. It's a central information hub where anybody can log on, no matter who they are at the city. If they call the Parks Department about a tree, the Parks Department dispatcher can enter it in the Kintone system, and it all comes to one place. And then I enter what my inspection, the outcome of my inspection was, and everybody can see it in real time. So it just, before that we had this going, it was like getting emails from here, there, everywhere else.
And how do you spell the name of that system?
Kintone is Kintone.
Okay.
And it's been fantastic. Eventually, the entire city will be on it, all the various departments. It's kind of in transition right now, but as forestry, we're kind of a small, I mean, if you think about all the different sanitary department, street department, the requests they get per day is probably 10 times what I get. But it's just really awesome the way it's been working, and it's just cut down on a lot of communications and miscommunications. Like, oh, I didn't do that tree because I didn't know I was supposed to. Well, now it's, because requests.
So is there a phone number, so if a citizen wanted to call, would it be a phone number or email address?
Well, when the citizen calls whoever they call at the city, the dispatcher on that end of the phone enters it in Kintone. A lot of people call the mayor's office about trees. They call the Parks Department.
People ask us, who do I call? And I'm,
There's a forester's number.
We'll
But whoever they call in the city will get into the Kintone system, and it will get to me immediately.
Okay, so it doesn't even
When they
have
enter it, as soon as they hang up the phone, they enter it, and it's on my screen.
all right.
And anybody who wants to know in the city about that, what the outcome of that site visit was, all they have to do is go on here. They don't have to email me. They don't have to call me. It's all there, and it's just a great system. So
That's great.
so that's going, and then also I just want to add one thing. Jen already touched on this, but I just want to add this too: is that we have been meeting with the mayor about public outreach for the grant, and there's a lot of good things happening there with the website and various things. But like I said, you covered most of it. There is a new forestry page on the website already.
Oh.
And it's some of it's not quite operable yet, but the things that are going to be on there that are going to be great is everything that's going on with the grant program is going to be on there.
Oh, good.
Is like updates, and then also the licensing. We talked about the licensing and permit information is going to be there. It's not yet, and contractors will be able to go on there with one click and apply for a license, and to become a licensed arborist for the city, a registered licensed. Technically, to be certified arborist, tree care provider, as well as residents getting the permits. It can all be done right there on the forestry page. And then what I really hope is once we get this ordinance thing buttoned up and streamlined, that will be there too.
Yeah.
But we got a ways to go on that. So
Well, when that's done, then I will put links to that from the Facebook page.
Yes.
Great.
that's all I
But I'll
have.
hold off on that now. Okay.
Sorry I got
Oh,
going
that's-
quick there,
no,
but it's
that
almost
was
7 o'clock.
Juicy.
I know,
Yeah,
that
that's
was a lot
good.
of information, and apologies for running so late. But yeah, I think we're up to date on the grant and the reporting.
Thanks to you.
Thanks to you and the rest of, and the city staff. So the financial, the progress report has been submitted, and I think we're up to date with things being
Drew will
reimbursed.
let us know if we're not.
Yes, yes.
He's a friend of the city's.
Yes. We'll keep going quickly here, guys. Under old business, we have Mayor's Community Activation Grant. I did reach out to the city for some clarification because there was not a due date listed. There is no due date for that.
Okay.
There's no due date
There's
for
a
applying.
use date.
There's a use by date. In March, I believe, the funds have to be spent by March. So I'm willing to work on that. It's a very, very simple application. I believe at previous meetings, Mary Nell suggested either tree signage on native trees in central areas or a blitz to remove invasive trees because our grant doesn't cover invasive removal.
I thought we were, Phil's idea of having a sort of a virtual tree
Yeah,
walk.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
I think we talked at that last meeting, is my understanding, and the invasives was just too
Okay.
nebulous.
It would,
Not
that would
this
remove
year.
a lot of invasives for $3,000.
Right.
So we want to move forward with the
Signage.
virtual tree.
And Phil, I think you said that you had some information on, you had done something similar to at a
Yeah.
prior town.
Yeah, if you can, pencil me in for maybe a quick demo of that next month, September 13th.
Okay.
too.
All right,
I can show it to you, I think you'll,
You can
I think
all
once
the
you see
good
it,
stuff.
Yeah.
you're gonna be like, yes, we need to do that.
And even if you can just get me like a paragraph, I mean, the application is really short. So just a couple paragraphs about like the concept, we can,
No problem.
if everyone's in agreement, we could get that in. And,
I have a flyer I can send you to explain.
okay, that'd be
We usually
perfect.
hand them out when we do them for people.
Yeah, perfect.
It's a really simple application.
Yeah.
I would like to flag if there are other opportunities that come up, like NIPSCO or something, Project Learning Tree curriculum. There's a tree curriculum through Project Learning Tree. I think it would be great in the future if we could get a small grant. It wouldn't take much, a couple thousand. We could provide that curriculum to all of the schools for teachers to check out from the library to use. So just an idea for the future.
We did apply for a NIPSCO grant last year.
Yeah,
Did not get it.
yeah,
But that sounds more promising.
yeah. So just something to keep in mind, just an idea that I thought might be cool. Okay, Boys and Girls Club trees, we've already discussed that, I believe, adequately.
Yep.
I think we've already
Leslie
discussed your
Shred's.
proposal. Oh,
Yeah.
Leslie, I'm sorry. New faces. We've already discussed your proposal. You're satisfied with that? The Moore Street development, I believe that's kind of been.
Well, it's a
resolved.
construction site. There's nothing, there's no trees there anymore. My only question last time was, did they have a permit? And so we kind of left it at that.
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't
It's-
think they
it was-
I
That's
think that
private property
occurred,
development. so
that occurred like
probably
either right before June 1st when I took over as city forester.
Yeah.
Or I was just unaware of it because I was brand new, just because I think Leslie had sent me, right after the last meeting, sent me pictures of it that she had taken a week before, and that was the first time I even saw it.
Okay.
So I don't know much about the site at all. It's,
Well, it's a construction site right now. It's perfectly blank. Now, I think we should that doesn't even belong on our agenda as far as I'm concerned. It's over and done.
Well, I guess,
Except for the ordinance that
Right.
requires replacements.
Exactly.
All right.
So it is still on your agenda.
Well, who's gonna tell we're not gonna tell them that they have to replace that.
I can bring it up to the city.
yeah, I think it's a
I
city,
bring it
so-
up.
sounds like it belongs to city council.
Let me bring that up to them because it's an ongoing project.
Right.
And it's not, I mean, I don't even know if there is a statute of limitations on these things. Probably not.
No.
I don't know, but let me bring it up to them.
Okay,
You said there's not,
Public
Nancy?
Works.
There shouldn't be.
Okay.
No.
And if there was, it's gotta be longer than a month or two. whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'll bring it up to Public Works Director.
Perfect, thank you.
Good.
Thank you. That's been on my to-do list, so I appreciate it.
I'll get it. I've
Moving
been
on.
talking about this stuff all the time.
Moving on to new business, we have City Nature Challenge using iNaturalist.
Yeah. I think I sent that out to you all where, I didn't reprint it either. Does anyone remember receiving this? This is a project where it's encouraging schools, school kids to report trees, and you report it like under a certain project within iNaturalist. What is iNaturalist? Some of you are maybe thinking, well, it's an app I use almost every day to help me identify trees and plants and birds. You sent a picture of it, sent a picture of this flower, and I identified the bee within the flower. I mean, it's all nature. So within this global app that is highly regarded, it's used for citizen science, where people are reporting where they see things, when, and that you can set up projects. So this is a project that called City Nature Challenge. And I thought that was something that the tree board could get behind. I'll send out something on that again
I
as a
think it's a
reminder.
great idea, and all we have to do, as far as I'm
Right,
concerned,
yeah.
is send it on
Yes.
to all the schools who may have already.
And the
Yeah.
school system does have that peach jar, program,
Uh-huh.
that if we get with the schools, promotional people, they will sometimes, if they think it's appropriate, send out a flyer through peach jar that goes to every, family in the school district.
Great.
I mean, other than that, I have no time for any more projects.
No, and it's just in the kind of thing like we, give
Disseminate.
handouts, we disseminate the information.
Yeah, we'll promote this,
But, yeah.
that's all.
Yeah. And then I just was noting that I'm away the first couple weeks of September,
Yeah.
end of August, and first couple weeks of September. And also, I don't want people to go away, I want to get our picture taken so I can update our
Oh, yeah,
Facebook
let's
page.
hurry up on that.
Yes. Comments from council liaisons?
You've been doing a lot of work, so thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. And I feel like I really missed a lot last meeting, so that says a lot, so, thank you. And, Mary, I already told you great minutes, I felt as if I had been.
That's very nice to hear, thank you.
So,
Do we need to assign someone for next meeting to
Yes.
take minutes?
Yes,
Are you, Laura is willing?
thank you, Laura. Longtime secretary, so I think she knows the ropes, I feel. It's great.
Comments from board members?
Well, we've said a lot. If we have to take a picture, I think we'd better
Yeah,
keep going.
okay, hearing none. Our next meeting will be September 3rd, 2025 at 5:30, right here. Mary Nell is excused, she will be away. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
Okay.
Meeting adjourned.
Jen,